Is QDTE too good to be true? Today we're going to put that to the test. This weekly dividend ETF has taken the world by storm. I would say it's the most popular dividend ETF pretty much by far, at least when it comes to my channel. It's our most viewed video ever with over 21,000 views now. So I wanted to do a little bit of a follow-up. I did purchase this ETF many months ago, and I have drip turned on. I have been reinvesting into this, but I want to talk about the dividends that have been paid out to me because, I mean, it says they're yielding like 25%. Is that actually true? I invested around $500, and I want to know if I'm getting my money's worth. So what we're going to do today is we're going to look at their website, just do a check-in and see if anything has changed. And then we are going to plug all of our data into an Excel spreadsheet and track our total percent return and all of the money we've actually made so far. So if you guys like dividend stocks, if you like ETFs, if you like just making money in general, you're in the right place. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps the channel out so much. Let's roll the intro. For those of you that are new to the weekly dividend ETFs, and I'm guessing most of you are not, QDTE was the first ETF to utilize 0 days to expiration or 0 DTE options. Now, the main thing with these that was so revolutionary is you're actually able to make money in the after hours on the price appreciation of the index. And since there is a lot of trading done in the after hours, it's a really good idea. And so a lot of people have since then adopted this idea, i.e. the yield max funds. The Defiance funds are secured puts, which is a little bit different, but it's kind of a similar idea. But they are still boasting a 25.8% distribution rate, and I'm not sure how valid that is. I haven't done the math because I want to be surprised with you guys. But we're just going to check in. Nothing much has changed on their page. If you want to go check it out on RoundHill's page, go give them a look. They have a number of ETFs. They have a lot of monthly ETFs that are also really good that I'm debating putting some videos out about. Let me know down in the comments if you'd like me to do that because some of them have been putting out insane dividends as well. But the AUM is 532 million, which is a lot. A lot. The Defiance ETFs, none of them get over like 170 million or something around there. So that's a lot of money invested in this fund. People have a lot of belief in this fund. You can actually go on here and see their call options. You can check the performance and whatnot. They say since inception, they're up 13.6%. I haven't owned it since inception, but we will track through that. And we can see that they do pay every single week. Now, they have their distribution history, their calendar. And so what I want to point out is, since purchasing, I purchased, did I purchase in September or before? I purchased in August. But the dividends have been not terrible. I would say they've been good, actually, but they've been bouncing around a lot. And all of that has to do with the volatility in the market. Because the more volatility or the higher implied volatility, the higher the premiums are typically. Meaning if there's a lot of scared people in the market, and they're not sure what's going to happen, whatnot, and they're selling or they're buying out of fear, you'll see the volatility increase. And especially when it comes to things like elections, things like world wars, all of that can increase a lot of fear in the market and scare people, and rightfully so. But I want to go over the last couple of dividends, at least from September. We can see a 33-cent dividend, a 44.5-cent, a 20.5-cent, or a 19.5-cent, I should say, a 25.6-cent dividend, almost a 22-cent, 27-cent. So a lot of it in the 20s. We have seen that jump up to 40 to 44.5 was pretty crazy, but we did see some of those prior all the way above 50 back in July. And so recently I have seen it come down a little bit. Now we've seen it, 27, 32, 21, 20.5, 26.5, and 25. So what does this mean? The dividends coming down, it all depends on what's going on in the market. It's not necessarily something that's changing drastically with the funds, but it is something that you want to know, because are we still making the same yield that they're saying? Are we still making this amount of money? And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to average all of this out, because even though we love seeing the amount that we've made, knowing the average and the percent return on our money is very, very important. On top of that, we're going to factor in the price depreciation or appreciation of the fund. And again, I haven't checked since I bought it if this is up or down. It was up last I checked, and it has had a really, really good week. And I would say I'm becoming more and more familiar with these. I'm definitely nowhere near an expert, but I'm becoming very familiar with these with our dividend, our weekly dividend account, which is a full challenge I'm doing on here, where I bought every single weekly paying dividend ETF. You guys can go check that out. I'll link it at the end of the video. But we've been watching these ones really, really closely. Every single week I put out a new video and I track the dividends, and QDTE is doing relatively well in the account. It's not doing as good as some of the other RoundHill funds, but it's far surpassing all of the Defiance ETFs. So what we'll do now, we're going to jump into that spreadsheet and we're going to go over the data. We're going to track how this has done. But before that, actually, what we're going to do is we're going to check the price action history. My initial purchase of QDTE was only for $250, and I bought that on August 12th. So since then, I have had drip on, and I did make another pretty substantial purchase of about $250 in September as well. But all in all, my return is just over 4%. Actually, it's actually closer to 4.5 with drip, and I continued to buy down in September, which then the price rose, which is amazing. So when looking at this spreadsheet, I love spreadsheets. If you guys are okay with me showing them, they're a little bit ugly, but I love showing this stuff. And I think it's important to understand how to do a lot of this stuff yourself. So cash balance, I'm actually going to remove this because we don't need it. It just shows the amount of cash I had in the account at the time of purchase. And then here's our amount in dividends that are paid out. So we can see it's been paying out a lot. A lot, actually. And so I'm going to add all of this up just to see how much money we've made in dividends so far. $35.75, which is pretty crazy. I mean, that is a lot of money. And so when we go to our initial purchase, I'll do this actually on the couch. No, we'll do it over here. So I'm going to do equals just to see the amount that we got. We had $495 worth. And so you guys can do this on any computer, any calculator you have. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this 35.75, I'm going to divide it by the initial investment. And then I'm going to multiply that by 100 to get a percentage. So I've got a 7% yield just on the dividends alone. But I also have to factor in price appreciation, which is a very important thing with these. We have seen NAV erosion, especially with the yield max funds, really, really consistent, which is unfortunate. You don't want NAV erosion. That is the total amount of money that you have left, slowly dwindling down. That's the amount of money that you have in the fund getting less and less and less. Even if you're getting paid more and more in dividends, the value is dropping, and you really don't want that. And so we're going to redo this calculation, but just on the dividend alone, not including NAV erosion, we're looking at a 7% yield in what? 3 full months. So you're still getting a really, really solid, like if we divide this by 3 and then multiply that by 12, you're getting a 28% yield. That's crazy. I'm honestly surprised. I did not think it was going to match up to what they said. But again, this is not including what we've made. And so the reason I did that is I divided it by 3 because we've done 3 months, roughly. A little bit more than that. So that's a little bit high. So probably closer to 26, 27% like they had stated. But I multiplied that number after dividing it to get the average we're getting per month. Multiply that by 12 months in a year. And so that would get you your total amount. And so what I'm going to do now, we're going to restart. And I'm going to take this 35.75, that's 35.75, and we're going to add this to the return that we've gotten so far, which is 22.80. So we've made $60 on $500 in 3 months. So we're going to divide this by our 495.32. And again, this is a little bit different because I did do drip. But when we divide that, again, we'll multiply it by 100. You are getting an 11.8% return. I've made 11.8% on my money invested, which is really, really, really good. Really good. And the beauty with this is because because I have drip on, and this is why I'm a huge proponent of drip, not only for weekly ETFs, but it really compounds in the weekly ETFs because they pay out so often. And I don't think people understand how powerful that is. You are buying stock every single week with these when you have drip on. And so it's amazing. You are able to recoup money so quickly. And for someone like me, people love the ETFs, the weekly ETFs to just live off of. That's not really what I'm interested in. I am interested in growing my money. I don't need the money right now. It's in my retirement account. It needs to grow on its own, and I'll pull it out when I'm 60, Hopefully I'll have enough money to wait until then. But what's amazing with these is you can literally continue to compound over and over and over again. Like 11.8% every 3 months, 3.2 months is crazy. So I'm going to divide this. We're going to divide this by 3 and get our monthly amount, which is 3.9%. It's almost yielding 4% a month. And then we're going to multiply this by 12 for 12 months. Me. I am yielding an annual return of 47.3%. I cannot believe this is this high. This is phenomenal. I'm really pumped, actually. And so what I'm looking to do, we don't have as many dividends from the RDTE yet, even though the yield has been insane on that one. I'll put out a video for each of these if you guys want to see them, even including the yield max funds. I don't own them currently, YMAG and YMAX, but I really, really want to. But what's important is to understand if your yields are matching up. Now, we haven't seen a 47% return. I've only seen an 11% return, but that's what it's been since I purchased it. So NAV erosion is a no for these, at least for QDTE. It is not eroding the NAV at all. We are keeping our underlying fund, and we're yielding nearly 12% every 3 months, or just under 48% every single year. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and check out this other video on QDTE while you're at it.